Hello everyone, welcome back. Thank you for checking out this video. Today's topic is having fun versus playing the game of life, and why having fun is for women, children, and pussies, and why playing the game of life is the domain of the masculine man. This is a topic that's important to me because this really is one of the core struggles that I have and had. And I've done a lot of work and I will continue to do a lot of work to move my life more from having fun to playing the game of life because I don't want to be a pussy. So I have some notes for this one that I'm going to refer to. So thank you for bearing with me while I do that. And so, what do I mean when I say having fun and playing the game of life? Well, having fun essentially is hedonism, living a life of pleasure seeking. Video games and social media, pornography, drinking, drug use. I'm even going to put pursuing women specifically over here because I'm going to use that as an example later. Essentially, having fun is anything that is taking away from pursuing goals, from developing a purpose, from becoming a masculine man. So, playing the game of life is simply the opposite. It is the willingness and the act of taking on responsibility, pursuing a purpose, finding meaning. And that's why men stay over here. So I'll liken this to checkers versus chess. With checkers, it's fast and loose. It's an awful lot of fun to jump the pieces around and to stack them on top of each other. Anyone can play checkers. Chess, on the other hand, is a far more complicated game. The game itself is slower, and it takes a lot longer to learn the game. And good players understand the rules and the strategy, and great players know when the rules need to be bent or sometimes even broken. Now, another important thing to understand is that this is a sliding scale. It's a spectrum. It's not 1 or 0, on or off. There is a time when even a masculine man is going to have some fun. It would be impossible. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. And so there is a balance to be sought out, but it's certainly not 50-50. I wouldn't even say that it's 75-25. I would say that it's closer to 95-5. And here's why. So the biology of this, the brain science of this, is simply dopamine. Dopamine is the pleasure chemical of the brain, or at least one of them, perhaps the most powerful. And dopamine is released when the brain recognizes that it's pursuing a goal and it's essentially a reward. So when we're engaged in having fun, the reward is very high. Getting likes on social media and all these games and these things in technology are specifically designed to release the most amount of dopamine possible. And because the rush is so high, that means the low is of the same intensity. And that leaves most people chasing the dragon, as it were, reaching for that next fix, doing everything in their capability to get that dopamine rush, and then crashing down to the very bottom. So this is a really up and down way to live in the world of brain science. Whereas playing the game of life, the dopamine release is far less significant. Making my bed, even sitting down to make this video, doing my meal prep, going to the gym does not release a significant amount of dopamine at a time. However, the dopamine release is more steady and more frequent. So it gives less significant peaks and valleys. And the farther over onto this side you go, the more steady the baseline becomes. So from a psychology standpoint, then, that puts people over here who are having fun in a victim mentality and a scarcity mindset. So victim mentality meaning that the world is acting upon them. They play the blame game constantly. They are fearful and in a state of, I don't know when the next fix is coming. I am not confident that I will be taken care of or that I will be well. And this puts the brain in a constant state of emergency, fight or flight. The body and brain is flooded with stress hormones, and this is just simply bad for the body. Then playing the game of life. This relates to having personal agency, the understanding that I am the actor in the world, and that what I do, I get what I directly work for. And having the abundance mindset, the knowledge that I will be well, that I will be taken care of. The example that I was going to use is about women. One of the things that's irritating me about the MGTOW community is that people are constantly having fun with it. Women do this and women do that, and this is female nature, and this is how women behave, and blah, 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 blah. Yes. And that's female nature. There is nothing that can be done about it. There is no one to blame. That is simply the way they are. Now, taking that into playing the game of life, what can I do to maximize my results with women? I know they're going to act this way. I know they're going to behave this way. So what can I do to change my outcome? What can I do to know that being rejected by one woman doesn't equate to being the end of the world for me? So those who have fun constantly are stuck in what, when I was there, was my personal hell. And it took a lot of courage to move over this way. So there's anxiety, depression, suicide, fear, all of that on this side. And then when you come over here, it's purpose, meaning, and developing confidence. The difference is it's safe and familiar to be over here. As miserable as it was, I could predict the outcome of certain situations. I was fearful and I let the fear control me. And moving on to this side, I had to understand that I was afraid and then choose to take action despite of being fearful. And that is what a man does. Pussies stay over here being shaken in their boots over everything. A man says, yes, this is terrifying, and I'm going to act despite the fear. And I've done a video on the 3-2-1 method, and I'll put a link to that in the description because that is one of the techniques that I used to start looking fear in the face and start moving forward despite all of that. So my best advice for moving across to becoming more masculine, becoming a man, is to start by doing less than what you think you can do. Be willing to do one less minute a day of having fun. That is going to add up to 6 minutes, 6 hours, 6 days, 6 weeks. I don't know where I got 6 from, but you get it. It goes on and on and on and on. It's compounding on itself. Be willing to act despite the discomfort, despite the fear, despite the uncertainty. Moving, taking action is the only option. If that's not a possibility, then accept the willingness to live in a personal hell. There's simply no other way to put it. That being said, I have no more on this subject for now. So thank you very much for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe. See you soon.